Are you thirsty? Well, that's a good thing because today we're playing Thurston's Drinking Water Games and Activities, K-12. I'm not sure what... Fuck, I forgot to start Bandicam. Okay, we're back. Are you thirsty? If you are, that's a good thing because we're playing Thurston's Drinking Water Games and Activities. I don't exactly know what K-12 stands for. I think that's a Klingon battle cruiser or something. I'm not quite sure. But I believe we're going to go into interactive water cycle. What a beefy PC, it has a hard time running interactive water cycle.
Water on the Earth is constantly on the move. It
Shit.
recycles over and over again. This movement is called the water cycle. To see the cycle in motion, please either select Auto or choose one of the four menu items now.
For that audio, I'll have to cut that out too. I won't rain.
Precipitation occurs when there is so much water in the air it cannot hold on to it anymore. It will rain, snow, those clouds get heavy, and we start all over again. When the sun comes out and heats up the...
Beautiful.
Precipitation occurs when there is so much water in the air it cannot hold on to it anymore. It will rain, snow, sleet, or hail. It fills up our lakes, streams, and oceans on the surface of the Earth. The Earth also soaks up some of the water, storing it in the ground until it is needed. This storage area is called an aquifer. Water on the Earth is constantly on the move. It recycles.
Let's do some build your own aquifer. I believe that might be of higher quality standard. Can we... Oh, do something. There we go. Stop spawning it there. Recorder's having a hard time. Introduction. I'm a noob. Oh.
Many communities obtain their drinking water from underground sources called aquifers. If a surface water source, such as a river, is not available, water companies will drill wells into the soil and rock to a water source below. Some homes have their own private wells and must tap into the same groundwater sources. Unfortunately, groundwater can become contaminated by harmful chemicals, including improperly disposed household chemicals, such as lawn care products and cleaners, and any number of other pollutants. These chemicals can seep down through the soil and rock into the aquifer that may be the source of your drinking water. Such contamination can pose a significant threat to human health. This activity shows how water is stored in an aquifer, how groundwater can become contaminated, and how this contamination ends up in our drinking water. Here's what you will need. A 6-inch by 8-inch clear container that is at least 6 to 8 inches deep, plastic shoebox or small aquarium, 1 pound of modeling and floral clay, 5 cups of white play sand, or enough to cover 1 inch across the bottom of your container, 6 cups of small rocks, aquarium rocks work, 1 drinking water straw, 1 plastic spray bottle. Be sure the stem that extends into the bottle is clear. 1 small piece, 3 by 5 inches, of green felt. 1/4 cup of powdered cocoa. Red food coloring. Eyedropper or pipette. 1 bucket of clean water and a small cup to dip water from bucket. Scotch tape. If you have everything, let's begin. To the longest side of the container, place the drinking water straw, allowing approximately 1/8 of an inch clearance from the bottom. Fasten the straw directly to the container with tape. This will represent your drinking water well. Pour a
White
layer
sand.
of white sand
Got it.
about 1 inch deep that will cover the entire
Straw,
bottom of your
bucket,
container.
White sand.
Pour water into the sand, wetting it completely. But there should be no standing water on top of the sand. See how the water is absorbed in the sand, but remains
I got
around
two
the sand
cans rolling.
particles as it is stored in the ground
Now
and
switch
in the
this one.
aquifer.
And that one.
Flatten the modeling
this one.
clay like a pancake
Yeah.
and cover half of the sand with the clay. Gently press a piece of the clay to 3 sides of the container. This will represent your confining layer that will keep water from passing through it. Pour a small amount of water over the clay and see how the water stays on top. Let's add the next layer of earth, rocks. Place them over the sand and clay, covering the entire container. To one side of your container, make a hill and a valley, but don't expose the layers below. Now, pour water into your aquifer until the water in the valley is about 1 inch from the top of your hill. Observe how the water stores around the rocks. Something else has happened in your container. You now have surface water. Both groundwater and surface water can supply your drinking water. Next, place the piece of green felt on top of the hill. If possible, use a little clay to securely fasten it to the sides of the container it touches. This can be your lawn or a crop field. Sprinkle some of the cocoa on top of the hill.
Okay.
The cocoa represents improper use of lawn
I think I'm gonna
chemicals
skip.
and farm fertilizers.
Okay. Here we go.
To the longest side of the container,
Okay.
place the drinking water straw. Allow it. Can you think of other things that may pollute groundwater? With what you learned, you can help locate activities around the school or your own home that could pollute your drinking water if not properly maintained. Discuss your findings with your parents and teachers. Learn what you can and share your knowledge with your family and fellow students. It will take all of us to keep our water safe to drink.
I think that'll do it for this episode. I'll complete this magnificent Let's Play, well, later.